I've been getting a lot of questions lately about what does science of mind believe about the creative power in the mind. So that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about what we believe about the creative power of the mind. In Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes says, we believe in an absolute first cause. In other words, there's nothing other. It's absolute. It's infinite. It's all-knowing, everywhere present. An absolute first cause that operates spontaneously through self-proclamation. In other words, it's responding to its own nature, and it's answering unto itself out of an immutable law that is contained within it. In other words, let me break that down and simplify it. There is an absolute cause. There is a power that takes that cause and it creates it. And all of that is within the infinite. Now you could break that down and you could simply say, well, the power of the subconscious mind. Okay, the creative mind. Within me, I am a microcosm of that. My thought goes into universal mind. It takes it, it creates experience. So we're always contained within it. Because the mind is self-existent, self-creating, self-perpetuating, self-animating, and self-expression, it possesses everything necessary to create anything that is ever going to be, or ever was, or ever will be. In other words, quantum physics would say that there is a consciousness that is everywhere present that contains every possibility of any idea, of any experience everywhere, and it's present everywhere all at the same time. And so this mind can focus itself anywhere, and whatever it focuses on, it creates. Past, present, future. It's all present right now. So with that in mind, anything that you desire to create exists within that mind. The question is, have you opened yourself up to that possibility? Have you opened yourself to that idea? You see, science of mind, a lot of people like to talk about science of mind that it's a get-rich scheme. No, science is not a get-rich scheme. But it does teach you how to get what you want. It does teach that you can comply with the one creative law and it will comply with you. Did you see that? There is one creative law. You can call it the law of cause and effect, the law of reciprocity, the law of giving and receiving. Name it, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter. It's the same law. What it does is, if you comply with its nature and how to use it, that law responds by giving you what you seek. And what people don't understand is they try to use their method of how to get the law to work. No. The law works based on your beliefs. Your beliefs are your thoughts, your words, your actions, your feelings, aligned toward a specific result, held persistently and consistently, consciously and unconsciously. And when that belief is so there, the law knows it and creates it. So if you're not demonstrating in your life and you're wondering why, it's because you don't have a belief that that's part of your life. You still believe it is lacking. You still are in the wanting stage. You are still in a lack stage. Because if you believe it's yours, that idea of lack leaves your mind. And when it leaves your mind, the law comes in and brings it forth. You see, what we demonstrate today, tomorrow, and the next day is not as important as the dominant attitude of our mind. So the question I ask you is, what is the dominant attitude of your mind? Is it about free choice? Is it about abundant living? Is it about living in a healthy, vital, virile body? Is it about having easy, loving, giving relationships that nurture and support and share and are fun? Or is your dominant attitude relationships are difficult? Is your dominant attitude money doesn't grow on trees? Is your dominant attitude that life is hard and miserable and you have to suffer to get what you want? That dominant attitude is key in creating your life. Here's the key thing. In order to develop a dominant attitude that will serve you and what you desire, you've got to let go and caring about what anyone else thinks. Because if you look at the people in the world around you today, there are not that many people that have that attitude about expansion, about growth, about more, about experiencing a richer and fuller life. If every day we are expressing a more expansive life, then we know we're moving in the right direction. Why? Because this whole idea of spirit, of divine love, of us is to become more aware. To become more aware, we have to have greater and greater and greater experiences. I know that everything that happens to me to help me expand my level of awareness. That happened last week at Sunday service. I normally put my phone, which is an iPhone, and I have a case that's a wallet as well. So my phone in my case, or my wallet in my phone, I put it down on a counter next to my glasses. And then after service, I went to get it, and it was gone. It had been stolen. I looked everywhere to see if it was something I misplaced or lost. Had the hotel look everywhere, my son look everywhere, everyone looked everywhere, and it was stolen. I immediately said, what is it for me to learn here? And it is for me to be more aware about when I have things of value, where do I put them? Because I can trust Lee. I can trust my wife and some other people that are very close to me. There are people I don't know. And if I have something of value, I can't really trust them. And I know you're saying that's sad, but that's just awareness of the consciousness around you. So I learned a valuable lesson, and now I move on. The science of mind believes there is no such thing as your subjective mind and my subjective mind, because if there were, that would establish duality. There is only one mind, and each of us is using it. So this creative power that you and I get to use is the same creative power that the infinite used to create the entire cosmos. We're actually thinking into the one subjective mind that knows how to create and do all things. You see, a lot of people like to say, well, let's explore the mind. Well, it's impossible to explore the depths of the individual mind, as it's really not an individual mind, but it's a mind that is individualized. The universal mind has no limits and can never be fully known by us because it's infinite. That's why our journey as microcosms of the macrocosm for eternity, as I believe it, as religious science would say, is that we are continually becoming aware of our infinite nature, and that process will go on for eternity because it's infinite. If it's infinite, it will take eternity to become aware of it. You see, the interesting thing is, doesn't matter what you're thinking or what that person is, what their beliefs are, everyone is universal on the subjective side of life. An individual at the point of conscious perception. In other words, everyone is part of universal mind. But everyone has been given a point of consciousness which allows them to create a perception based on experience, and that perception is individual. Here's the key thing. No two individuals on the planet have the same individual or conscious perspective. Everyone has different. So no one's going to have the same experience about anything. So if you think your partner knows what you're thinking, don't. They don't know what you're thinking because only you do. If you think you know what your partner's thinking, don't, because only they know that. The conclusion then is that we are all using the creative power of the universal mind every time we use our mind. We use our mind by the beliefs that we build, by the beliefs that we hold, whether they're conscious or not conscious. In front of you, I have the Science of Mind diagram. It's a circle, and it's broken into 3 segments. And it's not that it's in 3 segments. This is just for illustration. The top segment is conscious cause. The middle segment is the subconscious mind. And the bottom section is form or event, effect. You can also put at the top seed, middle soil, bottom plant. The seed you plant, the soil gives you. If you plant an apple seed, it gives you an apple. It does not give you an apricot. The same thing. You plant thoughts of abundance, the law, the soil, gives you abundance back. If you plant thoughts of fear, fear comes back to you. That's the creative process. Our life journey is to be aware of the creative process or law and to consciously use it as we create our own unique, authentic experience in this life. That's your purpose. In case you are wondering, think about this. Your purpose is simply to be you, to create more of what you desire, to become more aware of the innate power of creativity within you, and to continuously do that while respecting the rights of others to do the same. The ultimate act of love that Universal Mind gave to each of us is the freedom to create our own unique and authentic life with no restrictions, no judgment, perfect freedom to be us. And every time we do it, if it were human, it would smile because it's experiencing life through us. Take this power, test it for yourself, think expansive thoughts, and begin this moment today to create the best life you can even begin to imagine. And know it will only get better. I want to thank you for being with me today. And I want you to know that if you really want to start to go deep, on July 11th, I'm offering a class on Zoom, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, based off the book by Joseph Murphy. That class will be Zoom. If you would like to join me for that 6-week class, I promise you, you will come away changed. You will come away enlightened. You will come away with greater understanding of your personal power. To sign up for that class, go to agapespiritualcenter.com and just go to the calendar and you'll find it beginning July 11th. With that, make this your best day ever. Until next time, aloha.